Hello and welcome to Rules and Rulings, helping you to be judge, jury, but hopefully not executioner of your 5e D&D games. Today we're taking a closer look at the UA Monk, trying to untangle it and figure out if we can work with it. The first thing we need to look at before diving into the mechanics is the intended purpose of the Monk. Is it intended to be a damage dealer, a martial glass cannon, a skirmisher, a controller, or is the Monk intended to be the martial jack of all trades? For this video we're going to use the following assumption for the Monk. The Monk is a martial class who is capable as a striker, skirmisher, or controller, but must dedicate resources to excel in any of them. To help us figure out how to do that, we're going to be making direct comparison to the Rogue. Both classes have a similar AC at starting level that doesn't change dramatically over time, both have a D8 hit dice and slightly awkward saving throw proficiencies, both have a feature that allows them to dish out extra damage, and both have features that allow them to move more freely for skirmishing. On the surface, they're very similar classes. After going a little too far into the weeds, the conclusion we've been able to draw is that if the Monk dedicates their bonus action to attacking, they can draw roughly level with the Rogue's sneak attack. If they use their flurry of blows, then they can pull slightly ahead. Even using the most optimal approach I can think of and spending all of their resources, the Monk doesn't pull far ahead of a Rogue using a pair of daggers. Alright, so that seems pretty spot on to our goal. Let's move on to another element they share: defensive features. Both classes have access to a number of features meant to protect them from harm. They seem to be on roughly equal footing in this department, though that will depend on the challenges they face in their respective campaigns. So let's move on to battleground mobility. Hard to argue that the Monk doesn't have this in spades, what with their ability to run up walls and across the water, but that's not always practical. The Rogue's cunning action allows them to dash, disengage, or hide as a bonus action. The Monk can dash, disengage, and double their movement distance with a bonus action, at the cost of a discipline point. The disparity between a Monk's Step of the Wind and a Rogue's cunning action is so stark that players have been known to dip into Rogue to make their Monks more reliable. This definitely falls short of the goal, since without spending resources they get nothing in this area. This takes us to the final area for them, which is control. This mainly boils down to the one feature which has been contentious throughout the Monk's history: Stunning Strike. Stunning Strike's issue has always been that it's incredibly swingy. Being based around a constitution check, it was very difficult to land, especially on enemies you really wanted to be able to land it on. However, the stun condition is so potent that players would often combine it with the Monk's ability to increase their number of attacks, ploughing points into it and hoping to get lucky. When it worked, the tactic felt cheap, and when it didn't, the player felt like they wasted their time and their resources. The UA version of Stunning Strike aims to eliminate the problem by restricting its use to once a turn. This doesn't really fix the problem so much as patch it up. The Monk also got slightly better at grappling, but not dramatically so. So if we look at our original thought for the Monk, can we make this UA Monk work for us without completely throwing it out? Honestly, the changes that would need to be made are pretty minor in the grand scheme of things. Martial arts is fine. After crunching the numbers, not getting scaling on weapons seems like it might be the correct call. Step of the Wind needs an option that doesn't cost discipline. Our suggestion here would be you can dash, disengage, or double your jump distance as a bonus action, or spend a discipline point to do all three. Stunning Strike has to go. Despite its history, it's just too problematic to get working properly. This is an area where it would have been nice to see some experimentation. Replacing the stun with almost any other condition would be healthier for the game in general. The Monk still has a problem with its subclasses being parasitic to the core class, as everything wants to feed off discipline points, but some progress on this has been made with heightened metabolism. So that was a look at the UA Monk. Do you agree with what we've got here? Did we miss something important? Where do you think the Monk's role is in D&D? Is it the martial jack of all trades that we suggest, or does it feel like it should be something else to you? Let me know in the comments and I'll see you next time.